Hello everyone and welcome. So welcome to this piano workshop. We're going to get started. So today's workshop is really going to be about learning how to play piano by ear. That's the thing that we're going to focus on. And before we go into it, the one thing that I would like to discuss, which always fascinates me, is the challenges that that beginners face. So we're going to talk about some of beginners' struggles when it comes to learning the piano. So and hopefully some people can relate to this. If you can't relate, maybe you know someone who maybe relates to this. So one of the first things is a lot of lessons and books and even tutorial. We focus too much on reading music and not enough on actually hearing music. So hearing music is something that I strongly believe in, and definitely something that we're going to be looking into. All right, so that's a common struggle for most beginners. Another common struggle is that people practice, but they don't really have specific goals or specific aims. And sometimes when they're practicing, their practice is not really structured. So that results in usually very little progress. Okay, so that's a common struggle right there. Another thing is beginners often learn random songs instead of really learning the core skills that you need so that you can play any song of your choice in any style. And then finally, I noticed that a lot of beginners give up because they simply feel that they're not making progress. Sometimes, and this actually happened to me at some point, you've learned all these songs, but you actually don't feel like you can use them. So you've learned, and maybe you can even read some advanced songs, but it's either a style that you don't like, or you might come across a situation where maybe you're just asked to play Happy Birthday, or you're asked to play a very common song with a band, and then you feel very out of your depth. Okay, so these are some very common beginners' struggles, and today is all about trying to help you if you are experiencing any of these things in your own learning. So by the end of this workshop, one of the things that I am anticipating will happen is that you would have learned at least how to play a chord progression in the key of C. So C is one of the 12 keys, so that should really help you. Okay, and then the other thing that I anticipate happening by the end of the workshop is also for you to learn how to style chords in interesting ways. Thanks, Aaron. I see you said you can relate to that stuff, so that's fantastic, right? So we're going to learn how to style chords. So if you don't know what a chord progression is, that's fine. If you don't know what styling a chord is, that's also fine. I'm going to show you how to do all that. And then the third thing that we're going to have learned by the end of the workshop is to play a number of songs using chords. Okay, so that's what today is going to be all about. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to tell you what I'm offering. So rather than have people wondering what the workshop is going to be all about and if this guy is going to sell us something, I'm actually just going to put you at ease and tell you that I'm definitely going to be offering something by the end of this workshop. And what it is it's going to be a 90-day coaching program that I offer, and it's going to start in September, and I will give you more details about that at the end. But in this workshop, my goal and my job is to give you as much value as I can give you in the limited time that we've got. And then hopefully your job can be to take all of that in and then be evaluating whether you want this value to continue coming your way after today, and ultimately if you want to be involved in the 90-day program and if you feel that it's a good fit for you. Okay, so basically today is a taste of what actually happens in the 90-day coaching program. All right, so let's get into it. First, we want to talk about the two ways that you can play piano. Okay, so the first way is what I believe is mostly done, but I think it's actually more advanced and more difficult. And that is what we call solo piano. So when you're playing solo piano, this is where you play the melody plus the chords to a song. So suppose you're playing, well, I mentioned Happy Birthday earlier, so let me play Happy Birthday, but as a solo piece. So I might play. So what's happening there is in my right hand, I'm playing the melody, and then in my left hand, I am playing the chords. Okay, so doing those two things at once is quite an advanced thing to do. Okay, so solo piano playing is one thing, but what I'm going to be very interested in, particularly for today, is what I call accompaniment. And accompaniment is where you play chords and play chords in many different interesting ways, and you add some rhythm to it. That's how you accompany. So if I had to accompany the same song which I was playing just now, Happy Birthday, maybe someone's playing this on an instrument, or maybe someone's singing. So happy birthday to you. So I'm accompanying. Okay, so by playing chords and adding rhythm, I'm actually accompanying. So I believe that accompaniment is easier, and it's actually the best way for you to approach piano playing, because then it sets you up for beautiful solo playing down the line. All right, so we're going to go into accompaniment, and we're going to be playing in the key of C. Now, when we say key of C, what we're really referring to is the white keys. Okay, so I've got some music here, but reading music is not necessarily a prerequisite for playing the piano. Neither is it a prerequisite for my 90-day program. I've just got notes there for people that maybe have learned how to read and they understand it. So just think of that as an additional visual guide if you wish to use it. But in addition to that, we've actually got the notes for the keyboard at the bottom of the screen. So the notes in the key of C are these notes here in red, with C being number 1 and then D. So just for context, in case there's anyone who's never ever played the piano watching this, so to the left of any group of 2 black keys is the note C. So this first red key here, that's C. Okay, and in written music, C is this first note here, which is between these 2 things known as the stave, and it's got a line going through it. So anyway, don't worry about the written notation. If you can't read yet, just focus on the keyboard. So in the key of C, C is number 1, D is number 2, E is number 3, F is number 4, G is 5, A is 6, and then B is 7, which takes us back to C, and C is still 1. So we'll always call C 1 when we're in the key of C. So being in the key of C means that these are the notes, or the pool of notes that we draw from when we are playing songs. All right, so from here we're going to play some things known as chords. So a chord is basically when you play 3 or more notes together. In music theory, a 3-note chord is sometimes referred to as a triad. So we're going to be playing using triads. I'm just going to call them chords. So today I'm going to show you 4 chords that we are going to use to accompany and learn a number of songs. So it's going to be our gateway into playing the piano. So the first chord that we're going to learn is called A minor. And I'm going to focus on the keyboard that's at the bottom of the screen there. So the note to your extreme left will be played by the left hand. So if you look for 3 black keys and the note that's in between the second and the third note, I'm counting from the left. That's A. Okay. So your left hand will play that A, and I might recommend that you use your middle finger to play that A. Okay, so there's your A, and then in the right hand we're going to play 3 notes. So over here, and I'm going to recommend again that you play this A, so this note here is also A. I would recommend that you use your thumb to play that A. After A, you skip a note and then you play C, and then you skip a key and then you're going to play E. So when you play those 3 notes together in your right hand, that's what we call an A minor chord. Okay, so this right here is an A minor chord, and what I'm playing in my left hand, I'm going to refer to that as the bass note. So that right there is the A minor chord. That's going to be our first chord. And what's interesting about A is if we count the notes from C, we'll find that, remember we said C is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So A is the 6th note from C. So we're also going to refer to this chord as chord number 6. All right. So that's the first chord. Maybe let's play that A minor 4 times together. Okay. So I'll count us in and then we'll start. So 1, 2, ready, go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's do that again. That was actually quite nice. Ready, let's go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you want to get used to playing that chord and to know what it feels like under your fingers. The next chord that we're going to learn is what's known as F. So in your left hand, you're going to use your pinky, which in piano terms is also referred to as finger number 5, your baby finger, that's finger 5. You're going to put finger 5 on F. So first we're playing A, which is this note, and now we're playing F, which is over there. So what you're going to do in your right hand is you're going to put your thumb on F, you put your middle finger on A, and then you put your pinky on C. So now you've got 3 notes in your right hand, and then you've got the bass note in your left. So we're going to try and play them together like this. Okay. Try and do that and see how that goes. So that's how you play the chord F. Let's see if we can play this F 4 times as well. Okay, so let's give it a go. 1, 2, ready, go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that one more time. So ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully you've made an observation here that your A minor chord, particularly in your right hand, that the A minor chord has got exactly the same shape as the F. And what I mean by same shape is that F has got a white key followed by a white key followed by a white key, and we're simply playing a note and then we leave one out, we play the next note, and we leave a note out and we play the next. That's the shape of the F. If we go back to A minor, it's exactly the same shape. Okay, so I wonder what would happen if we play 4 A minors and then 4 Fs. Let's try and do that. So if for now you can't play with your left hand, that's fine. You can just focus on the chords in your right hand. But if you're a bit more advanced and you can attempt both so that you're playing the bass notes in your left while playing chords in the right, then by all means, right, go for it. Right, so here we go. We're going to play 4 A minors. We're going to play 4 Fs after that. Okay, get ready. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then F. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that's already beginning to sound like real music right there. Okay, So let's attempt that one more time. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those two chords sounding fantastic so far. We're going to go straight to the next chord. Oh, by the way, F is also chord number 4. And normally in music, chords are written in Roman numerals. So that's what this IV stands for. That's Roman numeral for 4. And before that, we were playing 6. So VI for A minor, that's chord 6. So we've played chord 6, and now we've just learned chord 4. Now we're going to learn chord number 1. Okay. Chord number 1, since we're in the key of C, is C, because earlier we were saying C is 1. So, thinking of the same chord shape, we're going to take our thumb and place it on C, so that we've got thumb on C. This is the right hand I'm referring to. So your thumb's on C, middle finger is on E, and then your pinky on G. Okay, so that is how you play the C chord. Okay. And then we could add, in your left hand, you can have the thumb playing C. Okay, so what that left hand does, or those bass notes, is they give you a fuller sound, which sounds really cool. So, and hopefully you can see again that the C has got the same shape as the A minor and the F. So all three chords fit under the hand in exactly the same way. All you're doing is you're moving from one place to another and then to another. Let's play that C 4 times. Okay, so 1, 2, ready, go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's how we play C. I'm wondering what would happen if we played 4 A minors followed by 4 Fs and then 4 Cs. I actually want to try that and hear what that will sound like. Okay, so let's attempt that. So 4 A minors, 4 Fs, and 4 Cs. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. So A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then F, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then C, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's quite interesting right there. Okay, so we've now got chord 6, chord 4, and now we've just done chord 1. Okay, we're going to add one more chord to this. We are going to add chord number 5. Okay, so chord number 5 is G, and there's my G right there. Okay, so G is right next to F. Remember, F was just outside the group of 3 black keys. G is just slightly inside the group of 3 black keys. So in your left hand, you can actually use your ring finger, so which we call finger number 4. So finger 4 can play G, and then in your right hand, you can play G, followed by B, and then followed by D. So when you play G, B, and D, that gives you a G major chord, which we're also going to refer to as chord number 5. Okay, so let's see if we can play that G chord 4 times. I'm going to play the chord and then I'm going to play the bass note as well. So let's play 4 Gs. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try that again. 4 times, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, the G has got exactly the same shape as our A minor, as F, as C. So these 4 chords that we have now have the same shape. Now, what would be interesting is if we played those 4 chords one after the other. So we're going to play A minor, which is chord 6. Then we're going to play F, which is chord 4. Then we're going to play C, which is chord 1. And then finally, we're going to play G, which is chord 5. Okay. We actually call this in music a 6-4-1-5 progression. Okay, and we say progression because we are simply progressing from one chord to the next, and then to the next, and then to the next. Right, so this is a 6-4-1-5 progression. So we're going to play this. Let's hold each chord maybe for 4 counts. So we'll play chord 6 and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll go to chord 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then chord 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then chord 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if this feels a bit confusing for now, I'm recording this, so I'll send this to you so that you can rewatch as many times as you need. But some of these things I'm just going to breeze through them. Okay, so just to remind you what 6-4-1-5 means in the key of C, it means we're playing an A minor chord followed by the F, followed by C, and then G. So it's A minor, F, C, G. That's our 6-4-1-5. Okay, so let's try and do what I did just now. Let's see if we can do that together. Okay, we're holding each chord for 4 beats or for 4 counts. Ready? So here we go. 1, 2, ready, let's play. So 6, 2, 3, 4, then 4, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to exit this presentation temporarily. I am going to show you this on my fingers so that everyone so that no one's confused, basically. All right, so here's my keyboard. So there's my 6, so I'm going to start with 6, and in my right hand I'm playing the A minor. So 2, 3, 4. Then you go to chord 4, 2, 3, 4. Then chord 1, 2, 3, 4. Then chord 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's your 6, 3, and then 4, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 2, 3, 4. That right there is one of the most important chord progressions in music. So you'll find that there are quite a number of songs that exist that use just those 4 chords right there. So I am going to go back to that presentation just to show you a few more things. Okay, so this is the last thing that we did. That's 6-4-1-5. I'm now going to show you how to style your chords. Okay, so chords are like hair. That's a very interesting phrase which I once heard from a guy called Forrest. Okay, so Forrest once said chords are like hair. And why did he say that? Because he said you can style your hair in different ways. So you can either do the mohawk, or you can do dreadlocks, or you can shave it off. You can have so many different hairstyles, and chords are pretty much the same. So we can style them in many different ways. And what we really want is to just make things interesting as we play. So the first way we're going to style our chords is we are simply going to play the chords on every beat. So that means if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, that means we're also going to play 2, 3, 4. We're going to play a chord on every single beat. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if you can play the 6-4-1-5 progression while playing your chords on every beat. I'm actually going to leave out my left hand for now, and I'm only going to play with my right hand and really focus on playing on every beat. Let's try that together and hear what that might sound like. So get ready. 1, 2, ready, go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, So that's us playing on every beat. Okay. And now let's see if we can maybe bring the left hand in there. What I like to do with the left hand is the left hand will only play on beat number 1. So we don't have to play the left hand on every beat because it's the bass. Otherwise our bass becomes too busy. Okay, so I'm going to play chords on every beat here, and I'm only going to play the bass note on beat number 1. Okay, let's try that on our 6-4-1-5. So here we go. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the chord 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is the most basic way to style chords, by just playing a bass note on beat 1 and then the chords on every beat. Here's another way to style your chords to make them more interesting or just different, is to use this thing that we call syncopation. Now when you're playing syncopation, syncopation basically means you're playing slightly off the beat. Okay, so the way I want us to try and play our chords is to actually go 1, 2, and 3, 4. I'm playing only chord 6 for now, so it's 1, 2, and 3, 4. So I'm playing the chords on beat 1. I'm not playing on 2, okay, because I want to play where I don't usually play. So I'm playing on beat 1. I'm not playing on 2, but I'm playing just before 3. So on the and of 2. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and. So it's like 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and 3. I'm not playing on 3 either. Okay, because syncopation, playing off the beat. 1, 2, and 3. I will play on beat 4 though. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. I'm going to go back to my fingers one more time, just so that you can all see exactly what I'm doing. There, my finger. Okay, so I'm playing 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. If I add the bass note, I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3, 4. Again, I'm only playing on beat 1. You could play them together if that feels easier. So you could go 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so I want to see what would happen if I attempt the 6-4-1-5 progression using some syncopation in my styling. Okay, so I'm going to start having things like this: 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. That's very interesting right there. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 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 Okay, I like that very much, and it actually reminds me of certain songs. In fact, I'm going to show you which song. Hopefully you've guessed what pop song. Actually, well, there's several actually, but there's an extremely popular one that uses this syncopation. All right, so let's go to actually let's go back to that presentation and have a look at some other ways in which to style your chords. So we said yes on every beat, that's fine. We said syncopation, but then what we can also do is to break our chord into 2. So in fact, I'm going to tell you 2 things and then go back to my keyboard. So breaking the chord into 2 is one thing that we're going to do, and then the final thing will be this thing that I call the left hand Chopin style. Okay, so I'm going to show you those 2 things. So starting with just breaking your chord into 2. So here is chord 6. So here, this is A minor, right? Which is 3 notes really. So if we break this into 2, what that means is you can play the note C and E together, and then you can play the A by itself. So you can go, that's breaking the chord into two. When I play the notes at the same time, it's one thing, but if I play those two followed by this, I've now broken the chord into two. So I can play, now that creates a bit more movement to my playing. So I've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which I quite like actually. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm going to, by the way, if the left is advanced, just stick to the right for now. Okay, so here's how I'm going to play. I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll do that again. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now imagine playing the entire 6-4-1-5 progression like that, in that style. You're going to have things like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Just one little word of caution here is just try and ensure that your thumb is not too strong when you play. So you don't want to go. So just play a soft thumb, and that will be way more musical than hammering that thumb away. So here is that 6-4-1-5 progression again. I'm styling my chord by breaking it into two. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you hear this in a lot of music, whether it's pop music, gospel music. This is a very common way to style your chords, just to create a bit more movement and variety in your playing. Okay, and then the final thing with regards to these styles is that style which I called the Chopin style. And what I want to do with that is focus mostly on my left hand. So if I were to play chords in my left hand, the notes are C, E, and G. So what I'm actually going to do is, yes, I will play this E over here, but this G, I'm going to move it all the way down there. So I'm going to move my G all the way there. And because G is there, I'm also going to remove my C from there and put it even further down. So I'm going to play my C chord like this. I'll play C, G, and then E. Okay, so that's on a C chord. If I'm playing a 6-4-1-5 progression, that means on the A, I'm going to play. And then on F, I'm going to play. And then on C, I will play. And then on G, I'll play. So what we're really doing is spreading that chord out in our left hand. So instead of the left hand just playing the simple bass line, which is okay, but can be boring after a while, if you style it, you might start getting more interesting sounds. So you want to practice this with your left hand alone until this becomes very familiar, until it starts feeling easy. And then what you can do is you can start adding your left hand. So I mean your right hand. Unfortunately, you can't really play the right hand there, otherwise your hands are going to clash, because now you have to share this C. Alright, so that means you might want to play your chords over here so that the left hand can play. Or if you're playing a piano and it's got 88 keys, you could actually play your A minor even lower. So I've got an octave button on my keyboard actually. If I press this, my A now sounds an octave lower than it did before. So Now you start getting this really dark sound. Okay, I'm going to go back to my original. This is easier for you to hear. So you want to start by just practicing left hand by itself, and then you add some simple right hand chords, and then maybe after a while, if you want, you don't even have to, but if you'd like, you could combine these styles. So maybe you might play a little bit more right hand and go, or rather, so I'm playing chords on every beat, but playing Chopin in my left hand. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do this is to get this left hand playing faster. So I might play let me break the chord in two tone. Okay, so you can have these interesting sounds just from styling chords and then combining these different styles. Okay, so we've spoken about styles. I'm actually going to go back again to my presentation here. So we've covered different ways of styling our chords. So either on every beat, syncopation, breaking the chord into two, Chopin left hand, and then you can even mix and match these things if you're up for it. Let's talk about songs, like real songs that actually use the 6-4-1-5 progression. So I've got a whole list here, which you can try out. So Fix You by Coldplay, Tears stream down your face when you lose something you cannot read. Oh my goodness, that's so high to sing for me. All right, but I'm basically playing 6-4-1-5. Okay, and then All of Me by John Legend, Syncopation. I hope that's the song you're thinking of. 'Cause you give me your 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and I give you all. So all these songs are using the same chord progression, 6-4-1-5, or Despacito. I don't know the words to this song, but I know the chords to this song. That's how it goes. Or Hello by Adele. Da, 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 da. I don't know the words to this song either. To tell you I'm sorry for 6-4-1-5. Okay, so that's all it's using. Africa by Toto. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. That's just 6-4-1-5. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. That's One Republic using the same chords, 6-4-1-5. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Da 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 da. You know, that's 6-4-1-5. Or Living in the Hall of Fame. The world's gonna know your name. Okay, so for now I'm playing all the songs in the key of C, just so that you can see how these songs are actually put together. Earlier this week, a few days ago actually, a student of mine showed me this song, and now I'm trying to recall the song. Something about love, Another Love, I think. And it was interesting that when I heard it, the first thing I heard was, well, this is a 6-4-1-5. I haven't even learned the song, but I remember the melody sounded something like that. If I look at the skeleton of that song, it's just a 6, 4, then 1, 5, maybe with some Chopin type things in that left. So I'm just styling my left hand in that Chopin style. So that song is obviously being played as a solo piece, but hopefully you can see that if you learn how to accompany and you learn how to style your chords, hopefully you can see that it's a very simple song. I'm actually not sure what key the original is. It's probably F sharp or something. I remember it had lots of black keys. Right, so these songs are songs that use a 6-4-1-5 progression, and there are 100 more songs and many other chord progressions from which you get thousands of songs that I explore in my 90-day program. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a taste, and then you can decide if you want to explore that further. Right, so can you imagine if you actually had a plan, okay? A plan where you can get your step-by-step coaching, where you're told, okay, start here, okay, now go there, and then go there, and then go there, right? So that you really know what you're doing. And then also just some daily guided practice so that you know exactly what you're supposed to work on every day, okay? Imagine if you're getting weekly video lessons. So we've met today, for some people first time, other people will be seeing me for the first time, some have seen a few of my videos, but can you imagine getting this on a weekly basis, but it's all structured and you're being guided step by step. And imagine learning songs. So in this session alone, with one chord progression, I'm trying to remember how many songs were up there. There were probably 8 songs or so, 9 including the Another Love that I added there. Okay, so we've learned 9 songs in just a few minutes, really, right? So imagine learning all the songs. Imagine learning about harmony. So now for today we're learning in the key of C, but imagine exploring all these keys and you're able to play all your favorite songs in whatever key you want to. Imagine also developing your ears so that you hear something, just like how I heard Another Love and then I played it for my student. Can you also imagine learning or being taught how to improvise so that you're making your own things, okay? And you manage to achieve all this in just 90 days. So remember earlier I was saying there's a thing that I'm offering, and this is the thing that I'm about to explain now, right? So this 90-day program of mine will start on the 6th of September. And as far as the cost for it, there are 3 different tiers. So each person may select what works for them and for their budget and for their goals. Okay, I say 3, but really there's 4. There's 4 things here. So hang on a second. Right, so the first of the 4 is actually my YouTube channel, on which I post things frequently, usually something every week, which I believe is actually packed with value. And what I would recommend for people who watch those is, instead of just watching it like a movie, if you actually apply those things and practice them, you will see a huge improvement in your playing in a very short space of time. Okay, so that's option number 1 for me, is just go with YouTube. There's no financial cost to those videos. It's just your time. Your time is what is how you're paying for them. And then you still get results. Okay, but if you want to take things a step further than that, so that you get the step-by-step guidance, then this is the first option for you. So we'll actually stop the workshop there for today. So thank you so much for coming, and please do make sure that you stay connected with me on YouTube. If you've got questions or anything, please feel free to post comments there and to watch those videos, because remember I said this is really option 1 and they're very valuable things for you to learn from there. And if this course feels too easy for you, so maybe you're not an absolute beginner, then what I would suggest is that you consider the jazz program. So if you already know some chords and some scales and you can play in multiple keys, maybe the jazz program might be better suited to you. And I'm starting a jazz program also in September, so you can check that out. And if you're interested in any of these things, please do let me know, and I'll get in touch with you. In fact, when I post this video with the link, I will put a form for you to put your details and which particular program you're interested in, whether it's the beginner one or the jazz one. All right, thank you so much everyone, and I hope to see you soon, and enjoy your practice.